तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः।
ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जना. We are reading here the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, which is the English translation by revered Swami Nikhilanandaji of the original Bengali recorded by Master Mahashaya Mahendranāth Gupta in the name Sri Ramakrishna Kathāmrita. And we are studying continuously the description of the third visit which the Master Mahashaya paid to Sri Ramakrishna. And the background, we know that he was in his sister's house in Baranagar, nearer to Dakshineshwar than Calcutta. And so he had gone there, and on the first visit he had become charmed and found joy sublime, which will take him higher and higher. And Sri Ramakrishna had told him, come again. And that reverberated in his mind. And after 2 days, he came in the morning when Sri Ramakrishna was shaving. About that something, did you miss? Now, Swami Vivekananda has called the whole thing a drama, the dramatic presentation. Now, in drama, it is mentioned entry, so and so the entry from this door, so and so exit from this door. And here on the third day, we have seen Narendra left the room. Remember, barber was there and Sri Ramakrishna was shaving. And in front of the barber, Sri Ramakrishna asked him, married, unmarried and all that. Okay, suppose. But when did the barber go away? Not mentioned. In not mentioning something, we must find something. And that is, the Master Mahashaya has got so much lost in talking with Sri Ramakrishna that he has not noticed when the barber has gone. So we are also left in the dark of how much conversation the barber also has heard. Scolding that Pratap's brother and all that. So how much has happened in front of the barber, and no mention of barber having gone away. And we all got lost in that. But later on it struck me that this has been missed by Master. And why has been missed? Because clearly the Master's mind got lost in conversation with Sri Ramakrishna, so he has perhaps not noticed when the shaving was over, when the barber went away. So much absorption or attraction Sri Ramakrishna's talk had, so much sublime attraction, even in the scolding, even in the expressing Allah, in all that, and the further conversation. So that is a point which I later on remembered, so I brought it today. And in the second, that meeting, we have seen how to keep mind in God. After that, Nirakar Sakar and all that, when Master Mashai humbly asks something, then Sri Ramakrishna replies, how to fix the mind in God, how to live in this world, and a discussion about discrimination of so many types, and then can God be seen, and then in what condition of the mind God can be seen. And Sri Ramakrishna's wonderful answers to all these questions in the simplest of language. Then we, after 5 days, next Sunday, again the visit has taken place. It was Sunday afternoon. And here the main thing which we have been reading up till now is different types of people. The low and high in God's creation. Though God is all in the same manner. So this is called really the unity in variety. And gradations of people and how to deal with them. And gradations of people according to the spiritual content. And this has ended in telling about the Nitya Siddhas. And then suddenly, the connection is that when he talked of Nitya Siddhas, and Naren was sitting in front of him, so he started telling people that people of Narendra's type are like the Homa bird in the Vedas. And while dropping the chicklets before falling on the earth, their eyes are opened and they run back to their mother. And then at this point, Narendra left the room. So very clearly, Master Mahasaya, because it was very conspicuous. The thing was talking about Narendra. And so Master Mahashaya's mind also was on Narendra, along with Thakur's words. And so Narendra's going was clearly noticed and mentioned here. Mentioned here is really beauty, because after going home, he used to write down in his diary all things talked, all things seen, and from that he has developed the gospel. So to remember at what point Narendra left the room is master's genius. And Sri Ramakrishna continued to tell about him, that he is good in everything. And then especially Sri Ramakrishna appreciated the logic of Narendranath. And Kedar was sitting there, and Sri Ramakrishna said that day he cut away all Kedar's arguments. So the expression is, he tore his arguments to shreds. And then in front of Kedar, Kedar will not be disturbed, because Kedar's way is faith. And then this brings to Sri Ramakrishna's mind that this argument by Narendra was based upon his spiritual understanding. So there is a relation between the right argument and spiritual progress. And because Naren was Western educated, Master Masha was Western educated, Sri Ramakrishna wanted to find whether this is Narendra's original or due to Western education. In that case, Western education or the logic in Western education will also prove to be useful to spiritual life. And Narendra has left. So he asked Master Mahasaya about the Western logic. But when Master Masha started describing the deductive and inductive logic, he found Sri Ramakrishna has not cared for that. He has become absent-minded. He has heard in the beginning, definitely, but he found that this has no connection with spiritual life, and so Sri Ramakrishna is not interested in that. Up till this, we have read yesterday. Now, the last portion of this third meeting brings before our mind a wonderful thing. First time, when the meeting broke up, the conversation for a long time was going on and conclusion has come. So the meeting broke up. The devotees sauntered in the temple garden. They did not go away. They sauntered in the temple garden because they expected again some conversation may come. M went in the direction of the Panchavati. A group of 5 trees, including the banyan tree, planted in a particular order of directions, is called Panchavati. And this Panchavati, one Panchavati was already existing in the temple garden when Sri Ramakrishna went there. But that had become old and the place was not very suitable. So Sri Ramakrishna had planted another Panchavati and he had fenced it and it had grown, and below the 5 trees there is a seat made to sit on, sufficiently big seat. So there Master went to Panchavati. It was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So he had come in the afternoon, maybe 2 or 3 o'clock, and then this for 2 hours, these talks were going on, and then it was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. After a while, he returned to the master's room. There on the small north veranda, he witnessed an amazing sight. Now, small veranda is telling, compared to the south veranda, north veranda is narrower. Otherwise, it is the elongated one. The small veranda is on the western side towards the Ganges, a semicircular porch. This is sufficiently long but narrow. Then on the small north veranda, he witnessed an amazing sight. Sri Ramakrishna was standing still. Still is the word, standing still. When we stand, there is a lot of small or big movement in our body. Though we may stand erect, even then there are many smaller movements. But what Master noticed was that Sri Ramakrishna was standing still. And then surrounded by a few devotees. So that is why I am telling that the veranda is not very small. It accommodated a few devotees along with Sri Ramakrishna and Narendra, and Master also is standing there now. So M and Narendra was singing. M had never heard anyone except the Master sing so sweetly. Now these two singings were of 2 different types. Sri Ramakrishna, when he sang, he started singing for somebody. But when he went into the song, he totally got lost and he became identified with the idea in that song. And sometimes he thought that is singing to Kali the mother, or Krishna, or Radha, whatever they are. And it was very sweet because perfect in one thing is divine, secondly, perfect in the melody and rhythm both. Now, Swami Vivekananda singing produced Samadhi in Sri Ramakrishna. So Swami Vivekananda also is becoming one with the bhav as a sadhana. And that has produced the effect on, and sweet, because his voice is divine and he has perfect. Now the difference is that Narendra has been trained. Though he has the talent, though he has the knack, everybody by training will not come to that point. But he has been trained. In Sri Ramakrishna there has been no training. What he has heard from here and there has become his own. He has not learnt in a regular way, while Narendra has learnt it. But sweetness is making Sri Ramakrishna into Samadhi. Now, other person, what difference is there? Why Narendra and Thakur is so sweet? Every other musician, however talented he may be, how much trained he may be, how much absorbed in the singing he may be, how much one with the song he might have become, yet he expects appreciation from the audience. And this is absent in Thakur and Narendranath. That is the big difference. Now, though Nikhilanji's translation is wonderful, literary grey and all that, certain points become missed. So here in the original Bengali, there is one more sentence and I wish to read it out for you. নরেন্দ্র গান করিতেছেন, মাস্টার আসিয়া গান শুনিতেছেন. That is not mentioned here. Okay, then গান শুনিয়া আকৃষ্ট হইয়া রইলেন. That also is missing here. So not only the sentiment, but that sweetness of the song and Narendra's absorption in the song, Master Masha has become attracted to that. And another important point we'll get here. Then he looked at Sri Ramakrishna. So coming there, first he saw Sri Ramakrishna standing still. Some devotees are there and Narendra is singing. He became attracted to Narendra's song. And then he really saw Sri Ramakrishna. Because Narendra's singing also was directed at Sri Ramakrishna. So these 2 points you remember, that he saw Sri Ramakrishna standing still, but was attracted to Narendra's song. And then it is all right that he had not heard his sweetness. When he looked at Sri Ramakrishna, so looking, seeing, observing, they are different things. When means after hearing, attracting to Narendra's song, then he has looked at Sri. But in the beginning also he has seen Sri Ramakrishna. So this is the attention of the mind. When he looked at Sri Ramakrishna, he was struck with wonder. What is wonder? Define wonder. One day we have talked about it. Something not seen before and not expected. That is wonder. So he was struck with wonder, for the master stood motionless. Standing still has further been clarified as motionless. We'll understand this only when we compare ourselves. When we stand still, even then some movement is always there in the body. It may not be conspicuous, but it is there. And that is the difference in Sri Ramakrishna, because in the mind there is no vikar. With eyes transfixed, this is another beauty. Our eyes winking does not stop. And Sri Ramakrishna's eyes are transfixed. Transfixed meaning he is looking at something. And the eyes are not wavering from that position. That is transfixed. Where he is looking? M seemed not even to breathe. He seemed not even to breathe. Seemed because Master is not so near to see actually. But he seemed that he is breathless. So no motion. Inside also, the life depends upon breathing. And even that, a devotee told M, so he was wonderstruck, what is this? So a devotee told M that the master was in samadhi. Now this word has come to us first time. So what is samadhi? Concentrated absorption in God. That is samadhi. Concentrated absorption in God. And outside, total peace, total motionlessness, unaware of the world, that is samadhi. M had never before seen or heard of such a thing. We have luckily heard or, though not seen, in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna and in the Great Master, and every description about Sri Ramakrishna. And this is something very special in him. We hear in the scriptures or lives of great people that once upon a time they had samadhi. But repeated samadhi we have not heard in anyone. Samadhi for such a long time we have not heard in anyone. And so frequently, within a day, we have not heard in anyone. So that was in Sri Ramakrishna. The meaning is that from that absorption, he could come to our level, talk with us, sing, dance, and again go back to that level. So that was as if we'll understand that samadhi was his natural state. And now and then he is coming out. Even on the first visit, Master thought Sri Ramakrishna has become absent-minded. Even while listening to that Western logic, he had become absent-minded. So drawn inside is the main point. M had never before seen or heard of such a thing. Silent with wonder, he thought, is it possible for a man to be so oblivious of the outer world in the consciousness of God? So something is very clear to him, oblivious of the external world. But he has not seen or heard of this before. So he has not analyzed. And he knows people are so much engrossed in the world. So can it be possible? So that is the wonder in him. And he analyzes according to his mind. How deep his faith and devotion must be to bring about such a state. Faith and devotion. Faith that God alone is real. Faith in God and devotion, attraction, love for God. So first he thought of these two things. How much faith and devotion should be there that you get cut off from the external world and get absorbed in God. Now we are given the song. Narendra was singing. Shall we read in Bengali? I will read the whole in Bengali first, though the singing is broken with Master Masha's remarks and Thakur's actions. Chintaya mama manasa hari chidgana niranjana kiva anupama bhati mohana murati bhakat hridaya ranjana navarage ranjita koti shashi vinindita kiva vijali chamake se roop aloke pulake shere jivana. I believe this song has been, he has not mentioned the composer. It appears to be a Brahmo song because all description is about Nirakara. And it appears that it is composed by looking at Sri Ramakrishna. All this description fits Sri Ramakrishna only. So, he is telling as if advising his own mind. I go back to English. Meditate, O my mind, on the Lord Hari. I told you the meaning of word Hari. It steals our mind, or it steals, removes our sins. The stainless one. He has to be stainless one. Pure spirit through and through. This is Chidgana.
Pure spirit.
Niranjana he has translated first, the stainless one. And Chidgana is pure spirit through and through. How peerless is the light that in him shines? No, in him means in God. But that is being seen by some sadhaka. How soul bewitching is his wondrous form. How dear is he to all his devotees. Now the order in English has to be changed. Now this is Navarage Ranjita. That is not description of God because it is a song. Alternately. Navarage Ranjita. In the new attraction for God, somebody has been colored, the sadhak. So this song tells about God being seen by a sadhak. So actions and reactions in that sadhak and nature of God. How peerless is the light that in him shines. That is in God. Consciousness is always expressed as light. How soul bewitching is his wondrous form. So that is effect on the devotee. His form is without form. But the devotee is experiencing this and is affected, soul bewitching. And then the Navanurangi. Ever more beauteous in fresh blossoming love that shames the splendor of a million moons. This again a mixed. Fresh blossoming love.
Navarag.
No. Navarag Ranjita is in the previous.
No, Navarag is fresh blossom. That is Bhakti.
Acha. Anupama Bhati Mohana Murati Bhakat Hridaya Ranjana. That is previously. Navarage Ranjita Koti Shashi Vinindita. So because of devotees' attraction for God, God is more beautiful. Like in fresh blossoming love, that is Navaragi. That shames the splendor of a million moons. That is in the Bhakta's mind. Bhakta's mind, the beauty of God shames the beautiful moon. Million moons. Koti Shashi Vinindita. So, million moons, the beauty of million moons has been put to shame by the beauty, sublime beauty of God in the sadhak's mind. Like lightning gleams the glory of his form, Bijali Chamake. So now that is, now and then, see the sadhak. He gets a fresh wave of experience. And so for him, God's form is shining like the lightning which strikes now and then. Raising erect the hair for very joy. So extreme joy in the sadhak's personality, what it makes? Hair standing on end. Now the fun is that here, so Master is in Samadhi through that song. So he is still, though oblivious of the external world, is not oblivious to the contents of this song. And so when this line came, the Master shuddered when this last line was sung. His hair stood on end, and tears of joy streamed down his cheeks. So if he was in absolute samadhi, a little outside, because of that song he has gone into that samadhi. So his attention is on the song. And when the song told of hair standing on end, Sri Ramakrishna's hair standing on end, and the other things associated with that joy, that is, shudder. Shudder means came out of Nirvikalpa Samadhi. That is the meaning of shudder. His hair stood on end and tears of joy streamed down his cheek. That is the other thing associated with hair standing on end. We have heard this on the first day when Master shared. Thakur telling when the hair stands on end and tears come, then you should know. So that is the state. Now and then his lips parted in a smile. That means in Samadhi, now God is Satchit Ananda. So in Samadhi, a man is more filled with bliss. In Thakur, that smile is always there. But in Samadhi, that Ananda is too much. And that makes the lips part in smile. Inner joy is breaking out. Now and then. Because otherwise he is in Samadhi. Was he seeing the peerless beauty of God that shames the splendor of a million moons? So Master is wondering, the spirit of the song has entered Sri Ramakrishna. Was this the vision of God, the essence of spirit? Essence of spirit means Chidgana. So is this experience of God due to which this is happening? How much austerity and discipline, how much faith and devotion must be necessary for such a vision? So the first impression was faith and devotion. it has again come with two additional factors. How much? Austerity and discipline. Austerity means neglecting the world, neglecting the comforts of the body. That is austerity. So that is absolutely essential in experiencing God. And discipline. Discipline here means sadhana. So how much attempt to get the mind merged in God. So these two things Master Masha imagined along with the faith and devotion. That careless about the world, careless about oneself, and attempt at seeing God. This is the capital by which, and faith and devotion of course is there, he has seen God. This song went on. Ridhi Kamalasane Bhajo Tar Charana Dekho Shanta Mane Prema Nayane Aparupa Priya Darshana. Worship His feet in the lotus of your heart. So the vision goes inside. Because God is found, God is experienced always in the heart. So this is all surmising by seeing Sri Ramakrishna. Where is his vision? In the heart. Though the apparent address is by the composer to his own mind. Ridhi Kamalasane Bhajo Tar Charan. Worship him, his feet in the lotus of your heart, with mind serene. Serene, Shanta. Tranquil, which I call. Peaceful and joyful, that is serene. Mind serene and eyes made radiant. No, eyes are looking inside, but that makes them radiant, shining, because the joy and the consciousness has come in the eyes. He says, eyes made radiant with heavenly love. So love not of the earth, love for God, that is heavenly, and that has made the eyes shine, radiant. Behold that matchless sight. Now the sight is of the sadhaka only. Again that bewitching smile. Here what was there? Eyes made radiant. And heavenly love. So, from Sri Ramakrishna again, that bewitching means attracting other people. Smile has come. The body motionless as before. So the movement is not grass. Only joy being expressed. The eyes half shut. So that is the vision. If you look, he is not closed his eyes. He is not sleeping. He is not subjectively doing something. Close the mind, close the eyes means mind thinks something. And half shut means eyes are open, but is not seeing anything in the world because he is seeing inside. As if beholding a strange inner vision. So this much effect has come on Master Macha, looking at Sri Ramakrishna. The song drew to a close. Narendra sang the last lines. Caught in the spell of his love's ecstasy, immense Bengal. এইবার গানের শেষ হইল, নরেন্দ্র গাইলেন চিদানন্দ রসে ভক্তি যোগাবেশে হরে চিরমগন. And then the two lines are in the bracket. that is in Bengali called Akhtar. The singer makes spontaneous composition and adds to the song. Then it is put in brackets. This is not the original composer. Swami Vivekananda himself has put it. Chidananda Rase, Hai Re, Premananda Rase. Original song says, in the honey of consciousness and bliss. Bliss of consciousness. Bhakti Yoga Veshe. Bhakti Yoga Aveshe. That means you are supercharged with bhakti. However, Chiramagan, be ever merged in him. And here Narendra provides Haire. Haire is an expression of love. Chidananda Rase is the experience, but Premananda Rase. Because of your love, you are experiencing the Chidananda Rase. So that is Narendra supplying the lines. The sight of the Samadhi and the divine bliss he had witnessed in all people, Sri Ramakrishna mainly, Swami Vivekananda and others also, left an indelible impression on M's mind. He returned home deeply moved. Now and then he could hear within himself the echo of those soul intoxicating lines. So what he remembered? That which has affected him most. And what is that? The last two lines. Immerse yourself forevermore, O mind, in him who is pure knowledge and pure bliss. So those last two lines addressed to the mind by Sadhar, including Swami Vivekananda's improvisation, are echoing. That means again and again, as if a sound goes somewhere and comes back. So like that in his own mind, the song is getting repeated again and again. We have 15 minutes, so we can go to the fourth meeting. So in third meeting, we have seen people of different types and how to behave with them. And then we have seen Samadhi, which is the first time experience for Master Mahasaya, and through him it has come to us also. And we have also to, in Master Mahasaya that is automatically going on. But in ourselves also, we should bring that again and again to our mind. Both vision, Samadhi, sweet singing, and these two lines. The whole song is possible. And the next day too was a holiday for him. Monday, 6th March. Now later on, in the next visit, Dol Purnima is mentioned, Holi. And there the editors have told that it should be the next Sunday of Holi. You understand? This holiday seems to be Dol Purnima. Or next day of the Dol Purnima, we have what is called Dhuli. So if the Dol Purnima or Holi has fallen on Sunday, Master is oblivious of that because he is in the sister's house. So he is as if cut off from the society. Now next day the holiday continues. Anyway, that is not so important, but that is the calculation.
So
The next day too was a holiday for M. That means whether it was a general public holiday or not, we do not know. So holiday for M.
So previous meeting was on which day?
Huh?
Previous meeting was on which day? Date?
Sunday.
Date, Sunday.
First Sunday, then Tuesday, then again Sunday.
Oh.
It is mentioned, clearly mentioned. In the first meeting, it was mentioned Sunday, so M had leisure.
Then after
And the third also it was mentioned, the next visit was on Sunday. That is how it began, the third meeting. It was Sunday afternoon. And now the next day. Okay. The next day too was a holiday for him. He arrived at Dakshineshwar at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Sri Ramakrishna was in his room. Narendra, Bhavanath and a few other devotees were sitting on the mat. So they also had holiday. Holiday for Master Masha, holiday for others also. Public holiday. Narendra, Bhavanath. So here we are introduced to another new name. And that is Bhavanath. We will know more about him. Narendra's friend. And a few other devotees, because he came to know the name, so and a few other devotees were sitting on a mat spread on the roof floor. They were all young men of 19 or 20. Seated on this small coach, that small bedstead, Sri Ramakrishna was talking with them and smiling. Now in the original Bengali, now I will tell you the content of this fourth meeting. Joy, bliss. And before reading, we'll read it after Navaratri. I will tell you something about this joy. You see in the heading, Chaturtha Darshan, Narendra Bhavanath Pravrutir Sange Ananda. Because it is in the heading, it is missed here. He only says that Narendra Bhavanath and few other devotees were sitting on the mat, put on the floor. So you understand? It is about the joy. Ananda. Sri Ramakrishna was talking with them and smiling. That is always there. Now, I will describe something about this. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, we are told that the outermost crust of our personality is our body. And we feel body is our Atman. Then we understand, no, what is not our Atman. Atman or reality is inside the body. Body is like a sheath. And that inside the body has our functioning organs. And that is what I am. In the body, I am working through the body. Living in the body, I am working. Then that is my Atman. Then we understand, no, that is also not my Atman. I am inside of that. So mind is myself. And mind with the help of organs and body is working in the outside world. And mind is myself. Then we understand, no, mind is not myself. I am living inside the mind. Inside the mind, I consciousness. I consciousness, which is the reflection of the real consciousness on the mind. I consciousness is my real nature, my Atma. And then we understand, no, it is not my real nature. At this point, what happens? You make a start now from the I consciousness. If I consciousness goes to the mind, it is traveling outside. Through the mind to the organs to the body, through the body to the outside world. Now this I consciousness, understand that I am going outside like that. And that I consciousness wants to look for its own real nature. Then it turns inside. And as soon as it turns inside, he gets a glimpse of God. Some touch with the God. Take the example of the old type of filament lamps. Bulb appears to be filled with light, but the light is only in the burning filament, heated filament. Bulb is the catchment area, and then it goes to the room also. Now imagine that light in the bulb or the bulb itself is trying to find from where my light has come. Immediately the attention goes to the filament. But there is a lot of distance there. And this, the moment the mind gets connected with God, you will find joy. That is what Thakur describes as Bhajanananda, different from Vishayananda. Now, this joy, now you don't have to go inside the joy, but you go deeper and deeper in the joy. And the bedrock of that joy is Brahman, is your own real nature. That is the description in Taittiriya Upanishad. So, the nearest to Samadhi, the nearest to your very real nature, God Himself, is the sheath of joy. This you understand. Now, I will call this as the nearest and innermost is joy. From the other side, suppose a man has realized God and is looking outside, talking with us and all that. So the first manifestation also is joy. First manifestation that the man has realized God or of God Himself is bliss. And this bliss, the Upanishads tell us, some spark like has given joy to the entire world. Why we are attracted to the world is a reflection, a spark like joy of God enters the world. And on Vasanta Ritu, maybe 1.5 particle. Now, this is being described in this fourth visit. The description of the Taittiriya Upanishad. Tasya Purusha Vidatam Modo Uttara Pakshaha. And the joy is described as a person, like a man or like a bird. So the right side is the joy which comes after you see your dear one. Pramodo Dakshina Paksha, heightening of that joy by talking with your dear person. They are the expressions. Ananda Atma. Atma means body, the main part, is the joy undefined. Okay. And then Brahma Pucham Pratishtha. So Brahma is like the tail or our legs on which we stand. Now this we will find in this chapter. After every 3-4 lines we will see laughter, joy, more laughter. So this third chapter, though different people, but the end was Samadhi. Now the expression of Samadhi, or how joy is the innermost, nearest expression of a man of realization or of God himself, will be the content of the fourth visit. And through that, Sri Ramakrishna will be teaching also. So we find that in the heading itself. No sooner, we proceed just a little. No sooner had M entered the room than the master laughed aloud. You see? Laughed aloud. That may be Pramoda. And said to the boys, there, he has come again. They all joined in the laugh. So that laugh is radiating. They all joined in that laugh. Now what is that he has come again? M bowed low before him and took a seat. Before this, he had saluted the master with folded hands, like one with an English education, but that day he learned to fall down at his feet in orthodox Hindu fashion. That day means he has seen before all the devotees, so he has done that on that day. Presently, the master explained the cause of his laughter to the devotees. He said, a man once fed a peacock with a pill of opium at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The next day, exactly at that time, the peacock came back. It had felt the intoxication of the drug and returned just in time to have another dose. Allah. Now this raises several questions and we shall discuss them after Navratri. But he had come 2-3 times and he has got joy. Now it is not the exact time when he had come, but that is the peacock's example. So he has felt that joy and attracted by that joy, expecting more joy, he has come. Okay? Now there is an announcement, please. Now we'll have Navaratri holidays, and after Dashara Vijayadashmi, next day is Ekadashi. So our holidays extend up to Ekadashi. And next class we shall have on Friday, the 7th of October. Okay? Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhiriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadaatatam Bhui Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanam.